So June 1st, 2020, Tecumseh, my dog, was killed maliciously, intentionally, and it was psychotic. It was psychotic. Two white males in a truck driving up and around and revving their engines and driving here and driving there and enticed, provoked the dog. They're felony menacing. So, but how come, okay, so June 1st, 2020, there was felony menacing. July 20th, 2020, this is... Shelly Quintana's email comes through, so, and then Kim Woods says no ex parte on the felony complaints allowed ever. Well, that's interesting. So unless a lawyer or a police officer sees the thing, Kim Woods doesn't think it's a crime. Soto Cruz should have a body camera of that encounter, should he not? Whenever a person files a felony complaint, why wouldn't they have a body camera of that? Just a date to remember. July 21st, 2020. There's going to be an attempted murder, 3 gunshots. How is 3 gunshots at a person not felony menacing? I had suspected it was Hiram Richardson because I thought that the person had to be on foot, so therefore it was somebody within walking distance. But on this day, July 21st, 2020, I got 5% clue who did this. Had no idea. No idea. July 21st, 2020. But that's a day after. Shelly Quintana says, sorry, we can't help you. We're not going to let the system actually protect a citizen that hasn't done any wrong to anybody. A lawful citizen that's lawful planning and zoning, waste a whole bunch of money on planning and zoning, but never was able to finish the house because the criminals just kept on criminalizing. They started it all. They could have had the entire system protect an innocent person, but they didn't tell me about my victim's rights. Shelly Quintana has never told me about my victim's rights, nor did Noble Haven. I mean, he's lying now, so my God, that's got to be... So basically, if somebody commits a crime against you, you have to stand up, because if you call the Costilla County Police, Noble Havens will get on the scene and cover the crime up for the felon. He's an asshole. He was argumentative. I think I live on Delaware Trail. Noble Havens, where do you think I live? I bet you'll argue with that. And then he's going to act like he remembers it. I wrote down a bunch of notes. I made a video about it. He's act like he remembers it just crystal clear like it was yesterday, huh? I bet you he didn't give a damn. And I bet you he hasn't been worried about catching the real person. But he's a liar. I know he's a liar. He knows he's a liar. And so does the person that killed my puppy. The guys that he is covering up for will eventually say what happened. And he's going to look like a fool for defending felons for no reason. So that was the day after. Hey, Shelly Quintana. Hey, Kim Woods. Somebody murdered my dog. There's somebody that's shooting gunshots right across the way. You don't give a damn? Oh, okay. So I tried to say something. There's gunshots the next day. Huh. I wonder if that's why I was worried. Huh, it sounds like somebody's going to shoot a couple gunshots. I drove all the way out to San Luis. They act like it's the worst drive in the world. They take their damn time. It takes about an hour, 15 minutes for them to get to my house, but 45 minutes for me to get to them. But you would think that I could just call and sit at my house and expect you to do everything. But if I drove to your house and wrote you a 5-page complaint and answered all your questions and was very methodical, there's a difference between someone saying, hey, I just saw that thing happen versus I saw that thing happen. Here's exactly point by point what had happened. November 16th, 2020. I called the DA's office, Victoria, rude as hell. What's your case number? Just assuming everybody's a damn... This is under Robert Willett. I remember the district attorney investigators in the background saying this case will never see the light of day. It's interesting. A lot of people are saying a lot of crazy things at the time. What they're not saying is there is no suspect. We never found a suspect. We can't charge anybody because we never found a suspect. Nobody's saying that. They're saying ex parte, you got to have a cop or a lawyer. They're saying, what's your case number? They're just, November 17th, 2020, a yellow Penske truck drives by my house several times. What's a yellow Penske truck? Driving by once, driving by twice, driving by again. Just me, just driving by a little, and then I'm in the middle of nowhere. Why is all this happening November 17th, 2020? There was another time I go to Jaroso, and then, I go to Jaroso. What it felt like here, I'll just tell you what it felt like. when I finally got the courage to go get my mail in Horoso, I drive out of the place. I think Robert Pickrell's watching me. He says, hey, he just left his place. So I'm driving to Horoso. Yellow Penske truck got the message. He's driving to my place. Why do I think that? Because I go to Horoso. It's leaving, okay? Did he notice me? Maybe, maybe not. I go there. I pick up my mail. I turn back around, and now I'm following the yellow Penske truck. I am following him, and he's headed down the road, that main road. When you go to the end, make a right there. And then he just ducks down, a side road real quick, as if I was following him, as if he was going to go to my house and take my stuff. And since I was following him, he was like, oh shit, I better pull off to the side here, because I certainly can't rob dude's house while he's right behind me. There was also a dump truck that was just parked out there for no reason. Okay, so that's felony menacing. Yellow Penske truck driving up and down. 3 gunshots, attempted murder. That's felony menacing. Murdering a person's puppy. That's felony menacing. Let's keep on going. November 21st, 2020. A lot of things happening in 2020. I was only in Costilla County for 2 years. So just ask yourself, in 2020 and 2021, were you kind to Jonathan, or were you a criminal piece of shit? I was only in Costilla County for 2 years. November 21st, 2020, there's a white truck not driving next to my land. Now that's interesting. Let's pull that video up, because he's driving on the sagebrush. He's not driving on the road, on the dirt roads, it's dry desert, but he's driving on the sagebrush. So he's coming up on the sides, driving not just off-road, but way off-road. And way off-road next to my house. Way off-road next to my house. Who the hell was that piece of shit? That ugly, fat, short piece of shit. That ugly, fat, short piece of shit. He looked like he had a face of the person that killed Tecumseh. That's not a criminal. That's not felony menacing. That's not even a crime, is it? Not even a crime. You're telling me if I fired 3 shots, if I'm driving by your house, if I murder your puppy, none of that's felony menacing, right? Michael Gonzalez, no, that's felony menacing, right? Kim Woods, he kind of laughed, Michael Gonzalez, well, you got to give us a name. You got to give us a name. Is that what he, How many people have gone up with, basically, they're saying ex parte, they're just, doubling down on ex parte. If you're not a cop or a lawyer, you don't matter in the San Luis Valley. You got to get a lawyer or a cop to put a stamp of approval on your complaint or lawsuit. Or get the hell out of here. Anybody and everybody can commit any and all the crimes they want to. If you're just a citizen, you're not a lawyer, you're not a cop, you got to convince one of them, or you're nothing. You're absolutely nothing. Grand theft auto, not felony menacing, but there are some questions that I had with that. But that was November 25th, 2020. November 28th, 2020, felony animal cruelty. Jacqueline Mitchell tries to murder Shakti. She just drove home, and she just messed with Shakti, driving back and forth like a piece of shit. She parks into her driveway, and then she pulls out and then drives all the way around. She could have just turned left and then turned left, and then she could have gone to San Luis. She could have gone to Antonito. She could have gone to Hiram. She could have gone to anybody else. That's, what she does. So she could have turned left and then not bothered anybody, or she could turn right and bother everybody. And instead of turning left or right, she goes all the way around the block to make sure she intentionally bothers everybody. She tried to murder Shakti. She drove all the way around. And, Shakti wasn't a dumb, friendly dog. Shakti knew to get out of the vehicle's way. Tecumseh only knew me, and since I was kind to Tecumseh, he didn't know that humans will go around murdering people's puppy. He didn't know that. That's why he's, was sitting on the side of the road, but just sitting there. And then Jacqueline Mitchell, she tries to kill, not just Shakti, but Tim, but apparently she got killing the neighbor's puppy fever. She caught that fever. Somebody had killed one of my puppies, and then she just kept on fucking doing it day in and day out. See, the problem was that they killed a good dog. that wasn't dangerous, that wasn't chasing cars, that wasn't running the streets. They killed a good dog. The dog that was running the streets, that would run out of the way, they couldn't touch it. They couldn't do shit to it. She tried to drive all the way around just to pass by Shakti again, just to try to make another swipe again. And then pretend that she had nothing to do with it. Yeah, you keep, if I drive by your house once, okay. But if I drive by your house 5 times and then all of a sudden your dogs start to freak out, why am I driving by your house so many times? All I gotta do is just go to work or go to the grocery store or go to school or go to wherever and come back home. Why would I have to drive around anybody's house 5 freaking times? Cops arrest people for disorderly conduct. How's that not disorderly? What is orderly about that? I'm 100% sure that's Jacqueline Mitchell. Jacqueline Mitchell definitely tried to kill Shakti. The white truck driving next to my land. I don't know who it is, but I bet you everybody else does. Just because I don't know who that, fat, ugly piece of shit is. Does that mean that that person didn't do what he is doing, what I videotaped him doing? You gotta have a name. Don't have a name. I got his face. Is that, that's a felony menacer right there. That motherfucker is felony menacing me. Oh, that's all right, huh? That's okay, right? I'm sure. Michael Gonzalez and Kim Woods and Soto Cruz and Danny Sanchez, if I'm driving in my truck right next to their land, if I'm doing drive-bys, and not me, anybody. If anybody's drives and provokes their puppy and then murders their puppy, they're just going to put a thumb up their butt and not do shit? Well, I didn't really see who did it, and the cops ain't going to do nothing, so what can I do? November 30th, 2020, Robert Pickerel lies to me. This shows you the character of Robert Pickerel. I've given Robert Pickerel a ride. I've, pumped up his tire. I've given him a jump start. I also let him stay over at my house for 3 days straight. I gave Robert Pickerel a chance. But he's a lying piece of shit. I don't know where he came from. I almost wonder if did he pick up on the fucking bullies and then started doing it to me, or was he called in? Because Tecumseh is killed and then Robert Pickerel's living there like the next week. And he drives like an asshole too, cutting across the field instead of driving at the driveway entrance. Anyways, I asked Robert Pickerel to watch over my place. He said he was going to be at his place all day long. I had to go to make some errands in Alamosa. I want to say, I don't know, Yida had broke his arm, so I was trying to get Yida to the vet. I don't know if that's, but anyways, when I start to go to Alamosa, it just felt wrong, and so I went to Antonito instead real quick, and then I turned back around. And when I turned back around, guess who was driving away from the Lebato Bridge? Robert Pickerel. I thought you was going to be at your house all day long. All day long, meaning 30 minutes, and then you're gone? You weren't there all day long, you lying piece of shit. And then there was somebody next to my house. There was a vehicle at my place when I got back. Robert Pickerel's driving away. He said he was going to be there all day long, and then there's a vehicle right next to my... Motherfucker. Not only is he the worst fucking neighbor, hey, can you watch over my place? Yeah, sure, I'll watch over your place. Oh my God. Yeah, he'll watch over your place to get other people, his buddy, to go rob your fucking place. You're going to be there all day, you weren't all day, and there's somebody right next to my fucking door. I'm going to pretend that you had nothing to do with that, you lying pile of shit. January 29th, 2021. Okay, so now we're at 2021. I was only in Costilla County for less than 2 years. November 2019 to October 2021. Less than 2 years. All of 2020 and most of 2021. So we're bringing in the new year. How are we going to bring in the new year? Robert Pickerel, 100% sure is Robert Pickerel was the passenger in Kenny Capin. I'm 95% sure that it's Kenny Capin. He's the driver and the shooter. They shot at me. It's the guy who owns the white truck in the video. It's felony menacing. It's attempted murder. It's harassment, stalking. It's also my felony complaint number 2. But that's a felony menacing. Over and over again, we just keep on seeing felony menacing. Here's, let's see, attempted grand theft. There's a dump truck and a bunch of trucks right in front of my place when I gave another guy a ride to the store. When the guy that I gave a ride to the store, he didn't bring any money. And then he started saying a bunch of weird stuff. And then there's a dump truck at my house. Anytime I left, I made sure that somebody was at my place. So I had actually got somebody from Kentucky, an aunt of mine, to watch over my place. And so Eva took pictures of the thing. There's a dump truck and a whole bunch of pickup trucks. And this is in the middle of nowhere. Why the fuck is all this shit happening? Nothing should be happening on a day-to-day basis. And yet there's a dump truck and two major fucking trucks, as if one of two things is about to happen. While I was sitting there grocery shopping for dude, they were going to rob me. Or while I was grocery shopping for dude, they were going to rob me, or felony menacing. They're trying to scare me and act like they were going to grand theft me. Either way, it's a crime. And I'm 100% sure of the license plate. And I gave it to Schultz, but I never heard back from him. Another drive-by. Guy is doing a super slow drive-by by the Paiute Trail. Spotlighting people. Spotlighting here, spotlighting there. Then he starts spotlighting me. And I spotlight him back. He fires several shots at me. Felony menacing. Felony fucking menacing. What the fuck? You guys feel safe with this type of shit? Who the hell is that guy? What's he spotlighting? Is he poaching? And he was over there by Bruce and over there by his Paiute Trail. So there was like two houses by the lesbian's house and the Bruce's RV. So we're just going to let him spotlight over there by the brick house. They haven't done anything to anybody. And then all those tough guys. You're just going to let people go around your neighborhood spotlighting everybody, and that's just totally fine and dandy, huh? What is he lost, probably lost an earring? Is that what it is? Yeah, right, lost an earring. You're trying to cheat. They're a bunch of cheaters. They want to kill a deer is what they want. And there's coyotes and shit over there. You know, there's like wild dogs. They could actually do the world some good, but they're not trying to do the world. They're felony menacers. So, March 2nd, 2021, I'm getting shot at. Kenny Capin, an RV junkyard guy. They're shooting at me again, July 9th, 2021. Getting shot at once, getting shot at twice, getting shot at 3 times. You think people shooting at you, that might be felony menacing? You think that might be trying to cause fear with a firearm, causing fear with a gun, causing fear with a deadly weapon? They define it now as a bludgeon, knife, and a firearm. But before, and it doesn't make sense for how's a vehicle not a deadly weapon? A vehicle is a deadly weapon. So then May 26th, let's get to 2022. I got 3 things here. In May 25th, though, this is Costilla County. Costilla County with the road scraper. Phil Greeny. Barreling down the road. At the very least, it's reckless driving, but it's attempted vehicular manslaughter, attempted felony menacing. He tried to cause fear with a deadly weapon. Felony menacing. But that's if we give a shit about felony menacing. While I've been having to go to court for the last year, I've been getting felony menaced. While I've been going to court, I've been getting harassed and stalked. Like I said, anytime I go anywhere, the grocery store, when I had to take Yeeta to the vet, I paid a person to look over my place. I have to pay for private security because I don't have police protection. I'll mention this about Conejos County. They got their shit together, and 95% of all the shit that I was getting on a day-to-day reg in Costilla County, I haven't been getting over here. So Conejos County has got their shit together. People over there, apparently, either they're corrupt as fuck or they're just not worried about the local authorities. They just aren't afraid of them, have no respect for them. But they're not doing the same bullshit day in and day out over here. It's 50 miles away, so it's a little different, but... So the road scraper, it's Phil Greeny. Phil Greeny is doing felony menacing against me. 12 pistol shots, 1 rifle shot. Who did that? Is that Phil Greeny? Is that Robert Pickerel? Is that Kenny Capin? Who is that? And then the stalker truck drives by real with a loud engine all the way over here. So we got felony menacing September 15th, 2022, July 24th, 2022, May 25th, 2022. We got felony menacing in 2022. We got felony menacing in 2021, November 22nd, felony menacing, July 9th, felony menacing, March 2nd, felony menacing. February 16th, felony menacing. July 29th, 2021, felony menacing. 2020, November 30th, November 28th. There's felony animal cruelty, November 25th. Grand theft auto, November 21st. Felony menacing, November 17th, felony menacing. July 21st, felony menacing. And then, of course, June 1st, 2020. Tecumseh was killed, most likely by Troy, and Kevin's in, Jason's in. The guy's a passenger, so he's just doing what daddy wants, and he may love daddy more than daddy loves himself. You saw the McMichaels, right? The dad couldn't, shoot, but his son did, and then they both ended up paying for that murder, which they should have. But it was the son that shot. I bet the dad talked all the shit in the fucking world, but it was the son that stuck his neck out there and then wound up sinking them both. So I don't have any beef really with Kevin, or he's a passenger, but it's his father, so I don't know. But get to the jury trial. Would Jason Zinn, would he tell the truth about what happened? Come to the jury trial. Come, just, get you under oath and then tell us everything that you know. Because felony menacing once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Felony menacing 5 times. Felony menacing 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10, 11, 12. Those are the ones that I just wrote down. Those are the worst ones. I'm supposed to wait till what? Something terrible and heinous happens? I'm not going to wait for that. This is enough. This is enough. For over 2 years, it's been nothing but harassment, stalking, felony menacing, bullshit after bullshit. Stop and goes, spotlighting, drive-bys, murdering people's puppies. So the whole point of making this list is if, the system actually cares about felony menacing, well then shit, there's 10 felony menacings. And if they truly care about victims' rights, I get access to the court systems. And I get access to the court systems. And when I file these charges, how can the judge say they're not going to hear the thing? How can they make the prosecutor call the prosecutor up in order to question them about filing charges if they don't hear about the charges? No. I almost think that I've read Colorado law better than some of these judges around here. But how am I supposed to pretend that Kim Woods and Michael Gonzalez gives a shit about felony menacing? I only lived, in Costilla County for 2 years, and I'm working on not being around here. This is ridiculous. This is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. I'm going to raise my family in an abuse-free household in a crime-free neighborhood in a civil society, whether you motherfuckers like it or not. So I'll, if there's a conviction, I'll serve my time. And if there's not, if I get the, judgment that I'm looking for, then you need to take me serious, and we need to, uphold victims' rights, and we need to file some lawsuits and get some real convictions of actual criminals that are actually going around. All I want to do is get a job, raise a little family, have a little house on the prairie, maybe be a professor, maybe be a journalist, write about some of the small town. The mayor passed this, and the city councilman said that type of stuff. But apparently that's we don't take kindly to that kind of journalism. Anyways, felony menacing has happened time and time again, and definitely warning shots is one thing. A couple warning shots, but somebody shooting at you with bullets flying, whizzing by your head. Somebody killing your puppy, driving to your house. They are the initial aggressor, driving to your house, walked out of the house deliberately, wanting to go to your house to hurt you. That's the kind of felony menacing they've been doing to me. And then last year, there was a couple people that was, like pretending to be hunters. And they had, well, I'll tell you about that. But that grocery store, they all had got their passes from that grocery store. And they're driving around here. And guess what? The wildlife runs away from me and my dogs. So it makes no sense to hunt around my damn house. My house also isn't in the BLM or the National Forest. So you're not allowed to hunt by my house anyways. But anyway, yeah. Felony menacing. On top of felony menacing. On top of felony menacing. It's just to pretend that Kim Woods cares about felony menacing, right? No, she cares about truth, justice, and love. The whole point of the criminal justice system is to make sure that it's a peaceful, neighborhood for everybody. You can't felony menace me. I can't felony menace you. The rule of law says nobody can hurt anybody. Nobody can rob, rape. Nobody can steal, hit, murder. Nobody can do any of this to anybody. The rule of law applies to everybody. So I don't think they give a flying fuck about felony menacing. The cops don't give a shit. The prosecutor don't give a shit. And the judges don't give a shit about felony menacing. You didn't give a shit about felony menacing on top of felony menacing on top. You didn't ask a single question. You didn't make a single arrest. And then all the things that you hadn't made me do. I mean, some people try to cover up their criminal mentality with more criminality. Oh, well, you acted like a criminal. I know he's not a criminal. Why? Because he acts like a criminal. That makes no sense. He's acting like a criminal because if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it is a criminal. Phil Greeny is a criminal. Phil Greeny is a criminal. The green blazer guy is a fucking criminal. But I'm going to get back to this. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, though. So if we just go back to any one of these felony menacing charges, So we'll get back to this. But what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Everything that's happened to me so far is what should happen to any of these people that have done this to me. Even if I get convicted for September 17th, 2021, you still can't felony menace me now. You can't felony menace me in jail. You can't commit crimes against me day in and day out. You can't do that. You've been doing it since I've been born. It's bullshit. I don't like the game. I don't know what game you're playing. I hate the game. And I'm going to raise my family in a peaceful neighborhood, in a peaceful household, in a peaceful society. Peace, love, justice, in a virtuous society. You wicked motherfuckers that do all these crimes and then just turn your back or put a thumb up your asshole. Being passive, being neutral during situations of injustice means that you've chosen the side of the criminal.